Actually, I found the neural map. It was really cool. I also found it on Google Maps in New Zealand, and it was the exact same thing that he drew. I have pictures. There'll be a day. So they're able to look down and go, magnesium. I need to have a better helmet for this one. Astronauts. And possibly an oxygen tank. What is an oxygen tank to them? Do they need it? You know, maybe they have a carbon tank or something that they've designed. Carbon ready? Yeah. See, look, that guy. I don't know if that's what they really need, right? Because they could totally want something different. Osmosis Jones. What? Disney. Don't do a MK Ultra shit to your kids, by the way. It's not very nice. You will hate the repercussions, because they're just going to push that shit back in your face. Not on purpose. But you taught it to them like that, so you can't be mad. They learn. But that doesn't mean you're going to like what they learn. Okay, let me stop. But the magnesium, it's thick. It's like taking a wooden spoon, literally. This is metal, but taking a wooden spoon, and smacking it on a waterbed. Doesn't sound like that, but try it. Ask somebody if you have one, you're in luck. It's a great choice. Waterbeds were a lot of fun when I was a kid. But that means that you don't gotta ask somebody else to help you do this experiment. That is a great choice. Okay. But you take your spoon, and you go over. You've done this. Now you're doing it to pay attention to the sound. Whack. It's got a sound that sounds seconds, milliseconds after you hit it. It is called the ripple effect. Smack it. And it'll go, and then it'll go like sometimes gurgly, depending on how much water is in the waterbed. But it's right though. That sound, that gurgly is the echo from the smack. And the smack's echo didn't start until after you lifted the wooden spoon from the top of the actual waterbed skin. The bladder. It's a great analogy. But you smacked it. What is that? It's the echo. So it's the same thing that happens when you smack a lot of magnesium. It's the same thing. You don't smack it with metal, that's for sure. You're going to start a fire. But you smack it with a wooden spoon. The back of a flat wooden spoon will work. If you got a rounded one, that'll work even better for some. But for the sound, you're looking for a specific wooden spoon, and you'll find it. Just continue playing with the wooden spoon part until you get it. You'll get it right. You smack with a spoon. But an arm length spoon is really good too, because you can just go and it'll make the perfect sound. It's different. You'll hold the end and just kind of like ding, you know. It's different. It's like ding. And you can let go with the more precision. Is nice. But that sound that you hear, that's like what magnesium sounds like if you were to smack it at the depth that I'm talking about. And then the echo. We'll go potty in a minute. Wait till people leave. Okay? Okay, so that's how you know that that's the magnesium level of thickness that is. And it's super clear until it gets to the magnesium where it is at a depth you have to have perfect sight to see in for that depth. And there are creatures quite large. Remember I told you Kraken was somebody's food. Pascal is not small. Doesn't come out unless she's trying to eat something and causes whole monsoons and typhoons to suck in her food. And those specifically after a size of 48 to 62 feet, no, not to be around, because that is not what you want. Kraken will not show up anywhere near Pascal if she's hungry. And it's not but like once every so and so amount of years, and she will find out you didn't teach or share that information with those, like for example, porpoise forget how to get home or get caught up and get lost somewhere or something like that. No. It will find its way home. Why? They naturally just do that. But the Hughes are weird creatures. We seem to pretend like forgetfulness is real or something, but elephants don't. Anyway, mammals are weird, especially the Hughes with our egotistical, holier than thou. What's the word I'm looking for? Because we projected ego over the Hughes as Hughes and told everybody we had a superiority complex for everything on this planet, quote unquote. However, we're not on a planet, neurologically speaking. The only thing round is your dome, literally. And our ancestors live in the water that we drink. Okay, we're going to keep going because that scares a lot of people, and that's probably not something that I want to do, especially when I'm trying to get to the point. Summarizing, I promise. So the fact that Pascal is not small. An earthworm is an infinite length. Whether you cut it up in pieces or not. It is an infinite creature. A very regenerative creature. But we make fun of earthworms because we see them wriggling around when they're tiny. And we go, oh, it's so small. And thinking that we have superiority because we look bigger. When in actuality, that might be a bacteria microscopically to others. Keep going. And we look at it as an earthworm this size, but somebody else is looking at a microscope going, oh, there's the bacteria and there's the helper. You know what I mean? And two, Pascal is not small. So if earthworms get to be, we still like to say things that are linear, like time. But if the earthworm from Arizona to Oklahoma is really long, and a baby, then hi, the voicemail you have reached is completely filled and rejecting any new phone calls. Please don't call back until tomorrow. Boop. Right. So if Pascal is not small, then we should not assume that earthworms don't get that big. You should ask the neighbors. Magnesium sulfate at its depth. Pascal won't go past the magnesium sulfate. She's not afraid of it. She says she knows better. That's tough. She says she knows better than to go past those depths into the magnesium sulfate. What? There's something bigger than her. And she ain't small. She ain't tiny. And Pascal is a sweetheart. Well, to me. She's a protector. She's a lover. She's a mother. But she also won't go into the magnesium because there's something quite assumably, I'll say assumably. We should draw this on pictures and a map and not lie to ourselves and tell us the map is right side up when it is upside down. This map looks like teeth coming out of the water. It does actually look like teeth coming out of the water. If you're doing it right, you're looking at all of the maps. You'll notice those are neural maps. Speaking a neural story. Calling it flat. No, they keep calling it round and then flatten it out and call it a map. It's so funny because I'm like, the only thing round. Pascal ain't small. And the Kraken knows it's food for something else. So if we know that, why do we pretend that magnesium sulfate is not real? And that graphene isn't important? When magnesium sulfate and graphene is pure carbon, pure oxygen. Pure. Not ozone. That we keep calling oxygen. And then you go get oxygen up your nose or whatever, and you go to the hospital and you go, oh, that smells so nice and it's clear. You're being ozonated still, but it's got more oxygen in it. But we grew up on generation after generation after generation of ozone treatment. Mustard gassing. Radiation. So changing that to an all graphene acceptable immune system would require you to do a lot of things like less screen time, more tilling the soil, more nature. More nurture. Sanctuary! Sanctuary! There is no spoon. Now I'm gonna watch this again. But at least I was listening to you. Thank you, nerd. Great backstory, great lessons. Even if you've never been physically to have I ever physically been to Antarctica? Right, that's a great question to ask. And even better to ask, define physical. Bye for now.